from the air cadet, the men who soon will be the air corpsmen. Today we iron out our flaws and our kinks in the crazy old ink, but tomorrow we fly, we'll be rolling the sky, each man's a future aid, a flying navigator for our bombardier. When we get wings in the air, we'll be the kings of the air, the nation's cheer, the world revere, a man who once were the air cadet. Flying navigator for a bombardier. When we get wings in the air, we'll be the kings of the air, the nation cheer, the world revere, the men who once were the air cadet.
Report from Colucci Mine, sir.
Put it on loudspeaker.
Go ahead.
Motorized Troop 7 reporting. Colucci in our control. Have learned from captives that Collins, Miss Mason, and Heiger, and as the agent, are on their way to the caves of Anchorban. They have been joined by Parker, Roberts, and McKay.
Report received. Thank you.
Any further word from Captain Carson?
No, sir. Not since he reported he thought he had located the entrance to the caves and was going to try a landing.
He should have checked bearings. We don't know where to locate him.
He wasn't in any trouble, sir.
Not then, but how about now? Suppose he met up with that party from the mine.
I'm afraid you won't like it here, Captain Carson.
From what I've seen of Anchorban, it's very interesting.
Take a good look. It's your first and your last. Miss Mason, your father's waiting for you inside. Inside.
It's something you should know. 2 boys are covering the rear of this body.
I'll take care of them. I'm putting you in a cell by yourself. Let's try the trap door. That'll take care of the 2 that are following. I'm going in to work on the Masons.
Which way now? Through that door, I guess.
Stop him!
Andre! Oh, boy. Hey, maybe you could reach that floor trap standing on my shoulders.
What good would it do? It probably weighs a ton. How about this door?
Locked.
Somebody make him stop him!
That's what your dad gets for you running out. He's been in here on bread and water ever since you left. Try escaping again, and I'll starve him to death. The Masons stay here. We'll put Carson and these boys in the cell with the 2 that fell through the trap. We'll show you how we really treat trespassers when Galt gets here. Come on.
It wasn't your fault, Andre, that you failed.
I did everything I could.
Of course you did.
Just the same, I still think we ought to blast the lock off the door. We got 5 guns to do it with.
But we'll only get 1 chance to use them. Now let's stick to the way we planned it.
Uh-oh, something's gonna happen.
Get set, Jinx. Everything depends on you.
All right, bring them in. Looks like the fall banged up one of them.
He's badly hurt inside. There's our 4 guns.
How do you happen to have 4 guns?
We had 5, our own 2, and the 3 we picked up on the trail. And one of them was empty, so we threw it away.
I'm sure glad you got here, Scrapper. Close to me.
Captain Carson, how did you ever get...
He can tell you all about it for a bedtime story.
Don't move. Drop those guns.
What?
Danny, we don't know how to thank you. Captain Carson, these boys aren't guilty of anything.
The Army wants evidence, Miss Mason. That's my assignment and duty. That's all I want.
Thanks, Captain. That's all we want.
Anchor is in United Nations territory. Therefore, it's useless to Galt and the Germans once its location is known.
Yes, and if we can radio this location to United Nations headquarters before Galt gets back, everything will be cleared up.
There's a radio downstairs. The radio room is down this tunnel.
All right, Jinx, you and Zombie stay here on guard.
I'll report to headquarters first, then put you on, Professor Mason. Calling United Nations headquarters. Captain Carson calling United Nations headquarters. Come in.
Don't move anybody. Drop those guns. I took the precaution to disconnect the antenna, Captain Carson. I was sure Mason would lead you here, so I left the door open and waited. Where's Heiger and my men?
We put your men in our cell. They know where Heiger is. We don't.
So, Captain Carson, you finally caught up with the cadets.
And with you, Galt. I've suspected for a long time you were the Black Hangman, until now there was no proof.
And now it's too late. With your people my prisoners, I can be sure at last the value and location of Anchorban will never be revealed to the United Nations.
You intend to make a profit by betraying your country.
Germany will pay most.
It must be something of great value. You've already committed 6 murders to keep it a secret.
I was hunting for oil and discovered helium in the inner caves.
Helium, here?
Yes, Carson, since Mason's already told you, helium. The only deposit ever discovered outside the United States.
Not knowing Galt for what he is, I told him of my discovery. He imprisoned me, holding Andre for hostage, and forced me to superintend the installation of equipment.
As you know, Captain Carson, Germany has no helium.
When the Nazis find out where it comes from, what's to prevent them from taking over? That's an old habit of theirs, you know.
I've anticipated that, too, and I'm going to give you all a choice. Death or cooperation.
What's your proposition?
My plane's been destroyed, and the men I brought over as pilots turned out to be Gestapo. I can't trust them.
I begin to understand. You want us to pilot a transport to take the helium from here to some German base.
You mean you want us to work for the Nazis?
You'll fly Captain Carson's plane to a Nazi station and pick up a transport.
I'm not so sure I like that job.
And your friends will be held here as hostages for your conduct.
Trying to scare us, huh?
Not only scare you, he'd kill us all instantly.
Precisely. Send Heiger to me and put these people in a cell. Think it over.
You've got to do what Galt wants so you can escape and bring us help.
If we escape, everybody we leave here gets murdered, even though we get through to headquarters.
Danny, friends don't count in war. You and Scrapper don't count. Only your country and the cause of the United Nations.
Here's some important Gestapo papers I took from him.
All right, Galt, what do you want?
Several things here, Heiger. Here's one of them. Your secret code. You're going to send a message for me.
What sort of message?
A message demanding that your superiors accept my terms for the sale of helium to them.
Demanding?
Yes, and make it as strong as possible. Tell them I'm holding you as a hostage to ensure their cooperation.
Me, a hostage?
Why not? That's a very effective Nazi custom, isn't it? Sit down and get to work.
And I'd suggest, Herr Heiger, that you send them in English. My German isn't so good.
Well, Danny, what about it?
We don't want to leave you here as hostages.
Now, look, Danny, you've got to consider the rest of us as expendables.
What does he mean, expendables? That you can be sacrificed to win a battle. That's what I thought he meant, but I wasn't sure. Well, that makes us expendables. That's right. That is, if Danny and Scrapper can see it our way.
Well, I guess they've got us where they want us.
I knew you'd do it. I have a plan to suggest.
Heiger, calling Sahara headquarters. Heiger, calling Sahara headquarters. Answer, please.
Sahara headquarters, answering Heiger. Go ahead.
Special code 1, 22, 14, 87, 96, 4, 33.
I just picked up part of a strange code message, sir. It contained the name of Anchorbond several times.
Break it down at once.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I shall tell him. Germany accepts your terms, but would much prefer buying Anchorbond outright. I'm not prepared to sell.
Well, have you reached a decision?
Yes.
You'll help me with my plan?
Rather than be responsible for the murder of our friends, yes.
Good. 2 of my men will accompany you to Captain Carson's plane.
When do we start?
Now. Come on. Don't let us down.
Don't worry, we won't.
Smoke, here are the 2 pilots. You and Blaine accompany them. You know where to go and what to do.
Right.
Don't attempt to use the radio on Carson's plane. It's out of commission. Mark, you go back to the caves and finish your work on the pipeline to the crater landing field. I want it finished when the transport gets here. Maybe you'd like to see the layout we got from the crater above these caves.
Very much. Only part of that message could be decoded, sir. It confirms some sort of a deal with those 2 cadets, Collins and McKay.
Impossible.
I'm afraid not, sir. They've agreed to fly a transport between Anchorbond and a Nazi base somewhere in the Sahara.
Sounds like treason.
The Gestapo has found it convenient to have spies follow spies.
Not a bad idea. Randall, follow Blaine, Mook, and the boys. Take the upper trail and keep out of sight. Stay with them till they get to the plane.
Hey. Is that Carson's plane?
Yeah, that's it.
Scrapper, get their gun! All right, get up. Beat it to the plane for some rope or wire, anything we can tie them up with.
We're gonna have a nice long rest.
Scrapper, get back to the caves and turn the gang loose. I'll fly to United Nations headquarters for help.
Lucky the boss had me follow you. Yeah, well, I hope you got the kid who was heading for the cave. I didn't even see him. I got the one that was heading for the plane. Swell job of covering you did. You should talk. You come with me, Randall. We're getting back to the cave. Beat it to the plane and make sure the other kid is done for.
Oh, he's done for all right. I popped 2 slugs into him.
You better check on it, Blaine.
Where's Galt and his mom?
I don't know.
Danny's on his way to your plane, Captain Carson. He'll get to United Nations headquarters, all right.
You soldiers did better than I thought possible. How about your guards?
Tied him up. Get on this thing, I can't make it work.
Give me your gun. Go to the crater and tell Galt what's happened.
I didn't think you'd ever make it.
Neither did I. Now we can beat it to that truck we left on the road and try to get to United Nations headquarters.
Hold it.